Yo, what's up, guys? All right, testing out. Apparently, I have live streaming privileges back. I've known about it for a little bit, but I want to come on and make sure everything still worked. So no agenda here, just hanging out, say what's up. I got to get on here and get the actual chat and the feed up to see what's going on here, but it seems like everything's going. There's a few people in chat already. I set this up and I went inside. I was taking care of the dogs, this and that. So, all right, cool, it works. And it's actually not too bad of a lag today. That's nice. All right. So happy Saturday, everyone. It is, what is today's date? Today is March 9th. And on March 15th, photo boost strips are coming back in stock. So we'll just say that right off the bat. And we talked about on some Instagram lives already. We have some good designs with the new heat sinks because you guys on YouTube may not exactly know about it. If you're on Instagram, you guys are up to date. But if you're on YouTube, you haven't seen the new extrusions yet. And so instead of the 1-inch Heatsink USA profile, we have a custom extrusion here. Cools a lot better. Not that the 1 inches were an issue, but just a more superior cooling and definitely can take up to 1.9 amps, no issue. Plus attachments like the driver you saw. So what's going on, chat? How many? There was only like 11. Oh, 77. What's up? All right. People are here this morning. Let's see if we can turn down this brightness. All right. I like that. And we're looking good. Okay. Gigi, do I sell to Europe? No, unfortunately, we're only selling in the United States right now. Just legalities and costs, nothing personal. Looks slick, okay. Should be coming in 1080, fine. All right, so I have today's Saturday. Tomorrow I'll be uploading my usual weekly garden update. I was going to try to get it up to this morning, but it just didn't work out that way. So tomorrow will be, I guess, day 28. And should be a pretty good update. The buds are looking nice. So I'll get in there with the 90, maybe the 70 to 200, get you guys some good footage, some B-roll. Should be a quality update for the YouTubers. And I'll try to throw like whatever B-roll I shoot, I'll try to throw it on Instagram. Okay. Grow Anonymous hit me up on IG, says, yes, we are live. So solar powered e-nail. So if you guys, okay, so I threw up on my story on Instagram. This is where we get fun. If we don't have an agenda, we can do something like this. So on my Instagram story, can you guys even see that? It's probably backwards. Or maybe it's not. It's backwards to me, not backwards to you. Anyway, I'm curious if I set up a 100-watt solar panel and a deep cycle battery to gain whatever I can above that 100 watts. Could I just run, because my e-nail is on 24/7, 365, and in California, when I'm tiered up, I'm at like 30 cents a kilowatt, 31 cents a kilowatt hour. So the question was, could I set up a solar system to run my e-nail indefinitely for free? And, you know, basically at that point, whatever extra wattage I have, I could use DC-wise too, which might make a good video to make a DC or solar powered LED light. Be something fun. So I think I'm probably going to grab couple panels and do a little DIY solar power thing. It's going to be low scale. It's only going to be enough for 100, maybe 200 watt system. But for those of you guys who can figure things out on your own and take it above and beyond, you guys will get the concepts. If you haven't thought of it already or don't know it, you get the concepts. You could make a 2,000 watt system and run a 2-lighter for free if you live in a fairly sunny place. Sawyer, get out of there. So I think it'll spark some interest. Everyone wants to know. I've had some questions over time about it. So I think with me being able to power my e-nail just for shits and giggles, hey, we worked it out. It's like $200 a year I could save, and the setup will probably cost me right around 200, maybe $250 if I really top it out for 100 watt. So we'll see. You have dogs? Cool. Yes, I have dogs. I've had a spaniel mix. She's 7, and then we just got a golden retriever the other night. If you guys follow on Instagram, he was on some of the live feeds. So got 2 new ones going, or 1 new one, 2 dogs total going. Solar powered clone room. That's what I was thinking. Because like right now I'm running a whole veg setup. Like I got little clones in there on a little 50 water. Basically this system you see here has been growing out some clones for me. Something like this. So if we can get maybe a 300 watt system, 400 watt system, might be doable. Probably gonna, we'll see. But a fun project nonetheless. Do I grow outside also sometimes? Like I have my my seeds that are in that I've had in there for a little bit right now. They're outside right now enjoying some free sun. It's nice. You can see behind me. It's coming in beautifully. Apache Tech is still $2,500. Yeah, they're still $2,500, but they're still selling lights $2,500. They have a different clientele. Most of you guys here in my chat probably are not Apache's clientele. Big government, academia dollars. It's different world. But I've been talking with Apache a lot lately, and we're some things in the future. We'll see. They definitely. I mean, still to this day, it's still bunch of Nichias, and actually I've heard they've moved to Crees. I haven't officially seen it yet, but I heard they moved to Crees. So if they're using XPG 3s and 660s, the E's or whatever, it's essentially something like this, and it's still a quality product. You have never seen my face? A lot of people have seen my face. Not very secretive about it. Live in a legal state, grow within my means and within the legalities given to me. So not super worried about it. But yeah. Yes, exactly. Get some government contracts. That's Apache's game. They do well with it. If you go to like Aquarium of the Pacific up in not Long Beach, up in Monterey, they've got a bunch of their lights over their tanks. Big dollars. Stanford's greenhouses get redecked with them every like 2 or 3 years. So it's like that's reoccurring bucks. Is what it is. Okay, so stream seems to be going good. Internet out here is decent. It doesn't seem to be too choppy. I haven't been looking at the replay, but let me know in the comments if it is. This is kind of the rejazz. So we can get a tech talk going. I don't want to get into. I mean, we can if you guys want to ask questions about it, but I'm not gonna bring up any tech talks. But I'm thinking, obviously, the new 301, the 301B compared to the 301H. Still, people asking a lot of questions. What goes on with that? What's the differences there? Talk about the new Cree diodes, both red, far red. Compare them to the Osrams. Probably got like 4 or 5 subjects here for a tech talk coming up, at least by myself. We'll see if Mouse wants to jump in, something like that. Reach out, get it going again. But YouTube's been pretty dead, so figured anything at this point is better than nothing, right? $138 people. Jesus, yes, 138 people. I can't get this on my Instagram. Save my life. But YouTube Saturday morning, Friday nights, it's getting a little lonely, right, guys? Yes, I mean YouTube's obviously a very hostile environment as far as the creator is concerned, but you know it is what it is. No one's presented a good alternative. That jump to Vimeo for a while was hilarious. I never really got on it, but everyone was going so hard. But everyone's back to YouTube now. It's not the business center it used to be, but it's still good for views. Yeah, I don't know what Doggo's up to. Ocean Grown, they kind of their team hit this fucking fan, so who knows what's going on with that. Mouse is always busy and shit like that. It's time for a new generation of growers and people to kind of step up, and we'll see what happens, if it ever happens. Does PLC have a small 1 to 2 foot board? We have a 2 foot board. It's called our Photo Boost Light Engines. Look something like this. It's just the raw PCB, rocking Samsung 301B diodes and Cree XPE high efficiency photo reds. And then shortly we will be having the complimentary heatsink of our own, or you can use the standard Heatsink USA 1-inch profile, and it works fine, especially at 1.4 lower. No problems whatsoever. But everyone wants to try to push them, and so need to supply something that can do that if you want. But if you don't want to push them and you want to run them on that same 1.4 on these heat sinks, which I highly recommend, the operating temperatures drop about 13 to 15 C, and it's a big difference. So it's very, very nice. And combine them with these little drivers. Grow Anonymous has a few of them. Lost Leaf's running his 730s off them. It's a small ERP driver. It's dimmable, programmable. Super nice. Live from the garden would be badass. It would be badass. I just, it's, what time is it right now? You know, it's 11 a.m. My lights aren't on right now. So that, not possible. Who the hell's right? I heard a tape measure, like, super close. Interesting. Do we ship to Canada? No, not really. No idea. It's tripping me out though. There's no 4-foot photo boost. There's only 2-foot photo boost. So if you've seen a 4-foot photo boost, it's just two boards put together. So here's the 4-foot heatsink, and the heatsink is the only thing that allows it. I gotta go check that out. Allows it to be 4 foot, and it's just linked in this. This one's linked in the center. Super easy. This one's ran in series. So this is a 54 volt strip, you know, up to 1.9 amps there. Forward voltage depends. Single board's running around 20, really about 26.5, but spec sheet wise, 27 volts at 1.4 amps. But really about, like I said, about 26.5 volts in actual practice there. Everything's you can go check out the information. It's on pacificlightconcepts.com. That's the company I started. I'm partner in, and that's where all any product that I'm going to make or bring to market is going to go through PLC. So if you guys don't already know that, I know this is a new channel and it's fairly new, but if you're from the old channel, you know where it came from and how we started PLC. But if you're new, that is the company that I work with or work for. Do you guys hear that tape measure? I swear. The 15th. If you just jumped in on the stream here, the 5th beating boards, if they are a day late, whatever, I know they're coming. So regardless, they'll be going online the 15th. Yep, chat's got you there. But yeah, a couple people jumping in. There's 165 people in here right now at this point for a Saturday morning random stream. That's pretty dope. Let's figure out what's going on. I don't know. Some dude in the neighbor's yard fucking measuring something out. No idea. Yes, so our apologies on the PLC. And what happened was we built the strips, we got them going, realized what we were doing down in Carlsbad really wasn't keeping up with it cost and speed wise. So we partnered up with this other factory across the country in Pennsylvania. So just listen to this long story. So in the country, across the country in Pennsylvania, great price, solid boards. What ended up happening is they were sourcing the boards, the actual PCB itself, the raw PCB, sourcing it, not getting it, not making it themselves, which pissed me off, but at the same time isn't an issue. But the fact that that's what caused such a delay, an 8-week delay on production time for the first batch, which then delayed the second batch and everything, so on and so on after that, really kind of put a halt on it. Anyway, we got a timeline down. Now we just purchased basically like $50,000 worth of just PCBs to just sit here in Pennsylvania so they can be assembled a lot quicker. And everything's kind of in line at this point. But like I said, it was an 8-week delay from what we thought would be a January launch to now we're into March. And that's the issue. Yeah, no floppy boards. If you guys are looking out in the chat, you can see this is a PCB. It's 2 millimeter thick PCB. Solid. I mean, you can bend it. It's not like unbendable, but it's solid. What we're comparing them to is the other, the standard option on the market is the Samsung H influx strips, like you see here, which are the only ones that feature, well, I believe the Q strips might actually have the 301s, but these are the only ones in the density you're going to want to use, are the H influx strips that have the 301B diodes, or if you guys are going back a little bit, the F strips, which have the 561C. Both good strips, but anyway, they're extremely, extremely thin. It's a 1 millimeter board, and when we start putting the power and the density that we're putting on here, it's nice to have just a little bit more mass right behind the diodes to kind of pull it directly away. And as long as you have a heatsink after that, it's fine. It also helps it with running, if you try to run it like heatsink less or this or that, but more importantly, it just is going to pull the heat away out of the diode just quicker. Versus this that's relying extremely, almost 100% on whatever cooling system is back behind it. Not the end of the world, but yes, they are extremely floppy, extremely bendable. Is what it is. It was just very interesting to see. The one nice thing about the H influx strips that no other boards have is if you see there's a little bit of white silicone on the outsides of the die here. It's exactly that. It's a little silicone cover that covers all the solder pads that are exposed on every other board unless you conformal coat it. So I'm looking into some conformal coating too. With all that said, so I'm getting the boards placed, assembled, placed, soldered, everything over in Pennsylvania so we can start pumping out, thousands at a time, a few thousand, 5,000 at a time. But I just got a new place that I'm doubling up so we don't have all these delays and all our eggs in one basket over in Pennsylvania. It's a new place right up the street here in call it Southern LA for the lack of better terms. So local to me that I can drive to, and they actually have a conformal coating system that I'm going to go check out this week, and we're going to see what that's going to do. Obviously, those are going to cost more. Maybe a conformal boat will have non and conformal coated, and they would be, $1 premium or whatever, $2 premium, something. I don't know. Figure out what it is, but could be an option. So we'll see how that goes. I have to figure out what silicone to use. I think there's 2 options I know of. There's a Dow and a. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Regardless, the boards are fine without it. It's just kind of that's the one nice thing. If you are going to get a Samsung strip, go for the go for the H influx strips. They're industrial and they have those extra coatings. So if you're throwing in a grow room, it's not a bad thing to have. But if you're leading that to, what's the 301B versus the 301H, that's kind of the difference. The claim, maybe not claim, but ideally, I don't think they're going to have these little silicone tabs when they start using the H because that anti-sulfurization. So I don't know that necessarily has to do with just the phosphor or the actual pads themselves and any kind of corrosion. So they're low voltage. That's the thing. At 27 volts a strip, or even 54 volts for a 4-foot section there, if we want to string them up, or even 200 volts. Oh, that's 200 volts over the whole, the whole system. It's not 200 volts over one area. Sprays aren't really an issue. I don't recommend. Don't go spraying your damn strips, but people have seen it regardless whether it's strips or COBs. It's not the end of the world. Let alone just being in a nice, relatively 60-70% humid environment. Oh, damn, you can totally see that. Puppy caught me on the ear. You guys, I was telling you about that new puppy. I was sleeping the other day, dude. He just nipped my ear, just barely. He was playing and I freaked out and I pulled away, man. And dude, his little fucking just ripped me right out. Whew. So this is my good side. That's my bad side, I guess. Yeah, so with the new heat sinks, we're talking about thermal tape in the chat here. Thermal tape's plenty strong. Like Grononymous says it, once it's on, it's not coming off. Once it goes through its cure time, there's a few hours of cure time, which is good with the heat. Once you kind of get them going, that shit's not going anywhere. It's actually good luck getting your board off, honest. So you better, once they're on. But the new heat sinks, so we have the 2-foot and we'll have the 4-foot. They will be, as you can see with the 4-foot, there is a PG7 gland connector with some wire going through in the center. I'm going to have them pre-drilled for PG7s in the center and on each end. So there's just enough space. It might even make the heatsink a touch longer to accommodate that. We'll see, maybe 46 1/4, something like that. Otherwise, I might have to use grommets anyway. That's what I'm saying. But nonetheless, you'll have wire access, each side plus the center. And then on the 2-footers, you'll just have one wire access coming through on one side. And they will also have pre-drilled assembly holes for the board. So eight holes per board on there on the 2-footer. On the 2-footer, you'll have pre-drilled holes for you guys to just throw M3s in there and be done with it. So even you guys won't have to drill and tap. You can still just slap a thermal tape on there and throw it in there. And there's also a little bit of a niche in there that it's like a little glide. They fit really well. You'll see. 315. The heat sinks are not coming 315. I apologize for those. We have the samples here. We've been testing them for the last week or so. Building a few things, the 2-footers, the 4-footers. Now I just have to finalize the hole positions. That's what I was talking about with the glands. See which glands we're going to go with. Oh, come here, big guy. Which glands we're going to go with and get that put on there so I can send to my heatsink guy and just order a few thousand of them. So they'll be here for the boards. But you can use these. You can use them on anything. You use them on 5.8 profiles. You can use them on big slabs. You can use them on standard, 1-inch heatsink USA. It's not a big issue. But these are here for you guys to make it super simple. And even if what we'll probably end up doing is we'll probably just mount a bunch of them. So you'll probably just get a package deal with the board already mounted on the heatsink with tape, and you're fine. So that's the idea. Everyone wants to, everyone's always asking about let alone when are the strips coming in. But are you going to be selling fixtures? Are you going to be selling kits? Yes, of course. Those are the obvious questions. Obvious questions with obvious answers, but they just take time and funds. So I'm going through a big stock of PLC 6s currently, and transitioning over to the strips, and it's about time. That's a good question right there. Any way to connect 80/20 with the new heat sinks? 80/20 is not actually working that great with the new heat sinks. We may be able to figure something out. Like honestly, it'd be a two-part system. The issue is the 80/20. You need something to go in. You need to screw into the 80/20. We also need to screw into these heat sinks because these heat sinks are essentially the same as an 80/20. So it's almost like putting two 80/20s together, except the slots are different sizes. But that's kind of the issue. So we'll have a frame that accompanies this that you can, for our housing and everything, and we might just sell it DIY too. But it's a frame that you'll be able to screw from the top down into the heat sinks, as well as position the bars how they need to be positioned. Yeah, that's two exactly. So a grub screw. There you go. There's the technical term. A grub screw with two nuts. I was going to say basically that where you'd have some kind of separation. It wouldn't exactly be super flush to it, but it could totally be done for sure. And you could even have it in a way that like it's just attached from the heatsink up with essentially like a T-nut that's on permanently attached, and then you could just slide it in there and it wouldn't. Oh, I'm sorry, big guy. I'm sorry. Look at this. Just face into my arms and out. It's fucking adorable. Dude, yeah, I know, right? Let me get you guys some more puppy action. I know, big guy. Can you see a finished product? What do you mean? I mean, I have a heatsink right in front of me. I don't have a full bar system in front of me. If you guys want to look up, you can see the reference design. That's lighting us up right now. So you can see how those are screwed up through into the 80/20. Yes, you need something to lock it once it just starts sliding. You guys are getting the picture. It's not totally finalized yet. That's really just not how our frame system is going to work. But for a DIY quick system, probably should come up with a reference for you guys to work off. So we can do it as a community. You guys can think out loud. Maybe the first few guys are for sure going to guinea pig, but once we get it, we'll figure it out. Yeah, this thing's, dude, I have it cranked just so it turns on. So it's running at like, 10 watts, 10, 12 watts here above us, if that even. So we're probably at like maybe 3.2 micromoles per joule running above us right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Probably higher than that, honestly, because they don't even get warm. It's, we're probably in the 3.32 range. That's why zip ties were invented. I guarantee we're going to see some people just zip tie those motherfuckers. But like you could even, so with the T slots, you could just put an eye hook into the heatsink, and you can have eye hooks wherever you need to, individual bars. You can make a full frame. Oh, I know, big guy. So yeah, he's a purebred golden. He's his name's Woods, and like Tiger. My wife will tell you different, but it's just like Tiger. And maybe 70 pounds. I don't think he's gonna be too big, but his paws are big, but he's not too massively sized, and neither were his parents. But either way, he's fucking adorable, super well behaved, and just loves to be cuddled. So until he gets that big, he can sit in my arms all day long. I know, good guy. Jeans I got. Oh, yeah, I do. I played in college. I played for Sonoma State in college. So grew up golfing a little bit. Decent player. Still hit it well. I don't play very much. I claim I play once a month, but I don't play once a month. I play once every 3 months, maybe. Still shooting the 70s, and that's about it. Back when G was life, for real. Yeah, no, I have a wife. I ain't picking up girls with this guy, but it would be fish in a barrel for sure. Fish in a barrel. I swear, my spaniel pup, she's easy. Let alone like a golden, they just get them wet. Yeah, my wife wanted a red golden, so he should be, you guys know, he'll be closer to his snout and his face color. Oh, he's out, dude. Gets the puppy dreams going. HB, and that's it. I'm in Costa Mesa. Grew up on 15th Street, so I was 18. Yeah, so. Oh, big guy, I know. I don't really have too much else to show you guys, honestly. Kind of just hanging out with chat, saying hey. So apparently chat works, or live streaming works fine. This is the impromptu. Just kind of throw it up, see what happens. You guys all apparently got notifications, cruised over here, this and that. Audio's good. Video seems good here. I haven't watched it fully back when it's playing through, but seems good. So, like I said, I got about 5 topics rolled up here for a tech talk. I didn't think it was enough, but as soon as I started blabbing on about like half of a topic right here, it went on pretty good. So I think 3 to 5 should be just fine. Anything else that we can do. So, look for a tech talk next week sometime. I think that'll happen. That'll add some content. Should tomorrow I should have a garden update of garden 8. Wow, horrible. Garden update up for you guys tomorrow morning, so you guys can watch something Sunday morning. Plants are looking good. Like I said, I'll have some good footage. So yeah, 11:30, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Have a good Saturday. Go do something fun. This guy, I'm gonna go take him, introduce him to a couple pups, bring my other puppy with us, and have a great day. Oh, I know, big guy. I know. All right, guys. Peace. Did you hear that? Was that a fart, dude? I swear the puppy just farted. That was impressive, kid. All right, guys. We're out on that one.